Well, I think in the case of Phantom of the Opera, you've really got the last of the great dinosaurs of the 1990s. It really is the last of those shows on the road. It still takes about 20 trucks to load in. It takes them a week to pack the set into the theater. I think Phantom of the Opera really is the show that introduced the massive spectacle to America in many ways, because the show toured in exactly the same form as it did in New York. It was never cut down or in any way sort of made into anything lesser than it was. And so as a result, people associate it with a level of theatrical spectacle that's almost unparalleled.
Traveling with our tour are close to 100 people. Normally we have our orchestra with us. Here we have a few key people. Otherwise it'll be local Chicago men and women playing in the orchestra pit. Maria Bjornsson, the designer of Phantom, she did the sets, the costumes, the makeup, the hair. So a lot of the visual look of the show is hers. She actually crawled all over the Paris Opera House where Phantom takes place, did tons of sketchings and everything. And this is modeled after one of the chandeliers in the Paris Opera House. It took about 5 months to build in 4 scenic houses. There's a steel frame, there are molded plastic and fiberglass pieces on it. There's all the wiring within it, and there are 35,000 crystal beads. They're resin, but a crystal-looking bead. And those have been purchased from 4 different countries, originally Poland, then Italy, then Czechoslovakia, and now I think our distributor is in Poland again. So there are 141 candles in the deck. We have these little hinged lids. The candle is in here. It will telescope up and you can see the flame on it.
Turn your face away from the garish light of day. Turn your thoughts away from cold, unfeeling light. And listen to the music of the night.
When our tour opened in 1992, the entire production to build was between $10 and $11 million. But they say now, 15 years later, it'd be between $35 and $40 million. I was on the original tour, which played in Chicago in the early 90s, and I've worked on and off with this tour for about 9 years. I think I've probably played in those 9 years close to 60 to 70 theaters. I've done Miss Saigon, so it had the big helicopter, but Phantom consistently, it's pretty cool.
I wanted everyone in whichever city that this production appears to see the same show as you can see on Broadway or in London. And otherwise there would be no point. It would just be an exploitation of a success.
I talked to Cameron Mackintosh, the producer of Phantom of the Opera, and he, has really gone out of his way to maintain this show at the same level of quality that's always been the case, because, every time it stops in a new town, there are always people who've not seen it before. It's probably the last time that the show will be here in Chicago for this kind of holiday run, because it is very expensive. And frankly now, tickets are a little harder to sell than they used to be, because of course you've got fresher shows that people have heard of, and Phantom is, creaking a little bit in people's minds, but not really on the stage. It's always been a very consistently maintained show. Is it an avant-garde piece of art? It is not. Is it a mainstream entertainment that people have enjoyed for the last generation? It most certainly is.